with a lot of young folks, say we about to go on vacation in March. You know, we'll wait until February comes, get that February check, and then we spending on the flight, that's $400. We spending on the hotel, that's $300. We spend, we got to have new clothes for the trip. So we're taking our check money that we need to pay for rent, that we need to pay for our bills, and we're spending on that vacation.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up? You are now listening to FYI FLI The Podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up, my FYI FLI folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FYI FLI Podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, a.k.a. the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're going to be chopping up with fellow podcast hosts of the Message 24 podcast and happy couple, Miss Lakaya and Coach James. How y'all?
Doing good. Glad to be here. Yeah, super glad.
Hey, we turned. Super happy to meet you, Lakaya and James. I appreciate you making this time for us. We're going to rock out here on FYI FLI because really, we like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff. So when I met James and he told me he had a relationship podcast, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I checked out y'all podcast and I saw y'all connection, y'all chemistry. I said, I gotta have both of y'all on the show. So for sure. So first thing I really want to know, like, how did y'all meet and like, what was the first date like? Don't hold back. We need it raw and uncut, cause, the audience listening, we want to know like some first date rules. Like, is there a max we shouldn't spend over? Lakia, is there a, minimum of what women are expecting? Like, talk to us about that.
Okay, I can go with how we met. So
Okay,
I'm going to condense this story a little bit. So basically, we have a mutual friend who posted his graduation pictures or whatever.
Okay, shout out to friend.
And I put myself on. Okay, so ladies, listen up.
Okay.
Listen up. Okay. So he posted it. She posted it. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna follow him, but I knew I couldn't like really go through and like his pictures right then because too many people were gonna be liking his pictures and he wasn't gonna see it. So
okay, strategic.
You know what I'm saying? Very strategic. So I think I waited like 2 weeks or something after that, and then he posted. This is around the time the PS5 was about to drop. So this was two and a half years ago at this point. And he posted the little thing about the PS5, and he was like, I'm about to act right for somebody. So me being the shooter that I am, I responded to the story. I said, act right for somebody or act right for me. Never talked to this man a day in my life before. Like, that's just how I came. That's just how I was. Right? All for him to say, LOL, you gonna buy me the PS5? I'm like...
I know. That's what he was worried about.
I posted the meme, and I really was. I was wanting to know if he was really going. People was buying. Other women you was think buying I was the about PS5. to shell out $600 for a man? I don't know. I
didn't know.
Well,
I was trying to see.
Now you know.
Hey, you trying to see if you was gonna make that investment, huh?
Yeah. And especially not with the way he responded. So I was like, you know what? Whatever, it's cool. I didn't even respond back to him. I was like, you know what? If he's interested, he'll circle back around. I think a month goes past, and I posted a picture, and I noticed that he liked my story. He watched my story. So I said, let me post a little something else. Let me get him. So I posted a boomerang, and then here he goes sending me the hard eyes. I said, got him.
Oh Lord, she got you.
Now keep in mind the first time that she slid or tried to slide.
I ain't tried to slid.
Yeah, you can't. You did come hard.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, she is tough. But at the time, I was talking to somebody, so which she said she already knew. So I was chilling. I was really chilling. I was like, dang, she's tough. She's tough. So push came to shove, everything kind of moved different ways. Me and that other person didn't work out, and so during that time, I took some time just to myself, and then I went ahead and.
So how did that lead to the first date for y'all? Give us that walk us through that.
So ended up DMing me, and he was up front this time. He was like, "Are you free Sunday? Let's do lunch." And I was like,
okay, setting plans, assertiveness.
Very, like,
come on
no
now,
beating around the bush, none of that. So I was like, yeah, but I didn't want to be too evasive. So I was like, yeah, but it has to be at this time. So I set the time. I was like, we're gonna do it. You kind of moving on my time.
Is that a little gem right there for the women listening? Don't be too available. Is that a little gem?
I think low key it might be. Like, I was very interested in him, and I was eager to like hang out with him. But I think because I had already came so hard the first time, I didn't want to make myself seem like I was overly available. So
that makes sense.
So I'm like, we can do it, but it got to be at this time. And he was like, okay. So I'm like,
now keep in mind, we are about an hour and a half or so away from each other
at that time. Yeah.
So the crazy thing is what I'm trying to think. We had a mutual friend, and then I'm traveling I'm going back to my hometown. That's what it was. So I'm going back to my hometown, and she's granted maybe 20 minutes from my hometown. So being in that area, I definitely wanted to, set up a date
and
see if we could, see if something was there.
Had to pull on the kid.
Yeah. So that was.
And as far as like costs of dates, I have my own money, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really expect people to do like super crazy things the first time that we meet each other. I honestly would have been uncomfortable if he would have tried to do that. Like, are you trying to lead with your pockets? Because I don't need you to lead with your pockets. I have my own money. I need you to lead with who you are as a person, because that's what matters the most to me. Like, like you having money is important, but I don't need you to lead with your money. So I didn't really have like an expectation for how much the date was going to cost. I do think I had the expectation that he was going to pay for the date because you asked me on the date.
Because he asked, for sure.
Like if you asked somebody out on a date, you were the person who is supposed to pay for the date. Now, granted, when the check came, I did act like I was reaching for my wallet because I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, if he was going to.
You wanted to see what he was going to do with it, yeah.
My wallet. He's talking about, what are you doing? I said,
But that's a rule. That's a rule. Like she said, I think the person who initiates that date is the person who definitely needs to be willing to pay.
Yeah.
If you coming up with all these ideas and you coming up with all these plans, then you need to have a mindset of, okay, how am I going to be able to pay for whatever plans I'm creating?
Yeah.
But
okay, that makes sense.
I feel like from a man's standpoint, like I just could not have gone on that first date and you paid, let alone you paid for both of us. That just wouldn't have worked for me. But I wanted to make sure I paid for that first day. I think that's a rule. You need to be able to pay for whatever day that you're planning for.
Yeah.
And then there's something else in it. I think it just you need to look up the restaurant before you go.
Why is that?
So it's important that you know like roughly what's on the menu, what are the prices. I had already gauged it to where if she would have, bought the highest thing on the menu, then I was prepared to be like, okay, I'm gonna be able to pay for whatever. Like, if I'm not gonna lie, it might would have turned me off just the tags. I'm like, gee.
She said, "Let me get that steak right there. Let me get that."
But that would have been. But granted, that's from a different mindset. I'm trying to change that mindset because if she would have ordered the most expensive thing on the menu, maybe her pockets are like that. Like she would have purchased that herself. So that would have just been like, okay, you need to. That would have made me be like, oh, I need to tighten up, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna reach for your pocket and go ahead and pay for it, then that means I need to be in there.
But on that first date, like you said, you wasn't gonna let her pay for it. So if she would have bought that most expensive thing, would that have, looking back now, would that have set something off? Like, hold on, because I think that sets a precedent for the relationship or for the continuous, next dates. Like, if she ordered the most expensive thing the first date, what you think the second day, the third day gonna be like? It's only gonna go up from there. So what do you think, from your opinion?
I would have evaluated it, and what I mean from that is if she bought the most expensive thing, what is she able to contribute? Because she may be coming from a different, like, she may have a lot of money, or she may be making more, like double my money. So that may be nothing to her.
I was in grad school, so that was not the case.
Right. This yes, granted, this wasn't the case, but I really would have taken the time to be like, okay, I've asked you out on a date. You may make more than me. I need to really check and make sure I'm able to handle your desires and your needs. So
I think for me, I'm a foodie. I love food. So when I go out, I'm gonna get what I want to eat. Like, I'm just gonna do
regardless.
Like, I'm gonna just do that. And I would have been okay paying for my stuff, because it's like, because I like to get an appetizer, a drink, a main course, and a dessert. Granted, I didn't do that at the place we were at because I got full so quick. And also, I was kind of afraid to eat that chicken in front of him. Like, I was eating fried chicken with a fork because I was afraid to pick it up and eat it with my hand.
No, you was switching up like that for the first date.
And he was like, I know you don't eat chicken with a fork.
I've never.
You called it out on that joint?
Like, you got a whole chicken leg. I know you're not eating it with no fork and cutting it with a fork and knife. That's like steak. We're not doing that.
Come on, you said you better pick that joint up.
With a fork and a knife. So, but yeah, I don't.
Oh my
Lord. Get what I want to get if I can afford it. Like, that's just how I operate. But I wouldn't have gotten nothing crazy off the menu, because if you would have made me pay for it, could I have afforded to pay for it? So I got what I could have afforded and what I wanted.
So we was both gonna be looking stupid just looking at each other.
Oh, this is kind of important, and I don't think we really did this, which is crazy. But I think,
come on, drop us.
I feel like communication is so important, and if you can go ahead and communicate kind of the plans for payment and all that before, why not do it? Like, why not go ahead?
I think that will resolve some issues, resolve some anxiety around, like, okay, let me act like I'm reaching for my, just to see what he do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that definitely could have kept that from happening. So I think that's important too.
How do y'all feel on, like, the free experiences, like, the free concerts around town? Do y'all be hitting them? Do y'all be taking advantage of those opportunities? Like, talk to us about that.
I am the free queen.
Come on now.
I think it's because I was raised just by my mom. I was raised by a single mom. So when I was younger, she always found free stuff for us to do. Like, during the summer, I was always doing something that was for free. So I just kind of inherited that a little bit from her. So, like, we'll go to, like, the art museum. I love a good picnic day. I love a good hiking, being outside. All of that stuff is the things I like to do most of the time, honestly, are free, aside from eating, because I'm going to eat. But
but the experiences and stuff.
I enjoy doing stuff like that all the time. So why would you not take it? Like, I think sometimes people have this thing with, like, free doesn't equal good, but it does. Like, something being free doesn't cheapen the experience. A lot of the best things I've ever done in my life, I didn't have to pay to do.
And it was just that person that you were with.
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
I mean, again, what works for us works for us. But like I said, I'm the free queen. I'm the bargain queen. I'm going to find a deal. I'm going to find a way to do something all the time.
And
I've been... Go ahead. My bad. I was just going to say, I've been on a new little wave where I'm not doing the typical first date, dinner date anymore.
Okay.
I've been on the experience, the painting sips, like you said, the hiking, you know what I'm saying? Because anybody can sit down and eat a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can sit down and eat a free meal. Yeah, James, for real. Because, we don't go be the ones paying for that, Jay. So anybody could do that. But if I pay for an experience and I realize that, you know what I'm saying, that we can connect without, me feeding you or me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can connect like I'm your father, but we can connect and we can really chop it up and be in a different environment. You know what I'm saying? Then that lets me know, like, okay, then we can definitely go on a dinner date and sit down and really be, intimate in that section, when we can go in a free experience and turn up and still have a good time. So that's all I was going to say.
I think that even dinner dates can kind of be a little intimidating because it's just you and you sitting across from this person. And even when we went on our date, I was anxious. I told him out loud, I was like, this is really makes me anxious. Like, I'm nervous, but excuse me. I think our second date, we went bowling and we went to play like laser tag, and that was so much. That was so much fun. It was so like much more like, not to say that our first date wasn't good because it was great. I mean, here we are 2 years later.
For sure.
But that to me is a great first date. Like, to go out to like play ball, to do bowling and laser tag. Like, we were in there rolling around doing flips, playing tag with each other. Like, that was so much fun compared to like, just going out to dinner, which is nothing is wrong with that. But I think if you really want to get to know somebody and see their personality, like, you can go hiking, like a little picnic day, like you were saying, a paint and sip. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with those types of things.
For sure. Did you have something you wanted to add, James?
I was just going to say, if you're not happy with the person, if you don't genuinely like that person, it's going to be hard whether you're going on these real expensive dates or if you're doing the free, getaways. Yeah. So you just got to be really, you really need to get to know that person. Forget the money, forget the cost. You just need to really sit down and take some time with that person to make sure that they're genuinely someone that you can see spending some time with.
Facts. And I think that's what kind of transitioned me into that, experience wave over just the dinner date. Like you said, if I can't really vibe with them, then I'm not finna go spend, 120 on Ruth Chris. You know what I'm saying? So something else that I wanted to talk to y'all about is traveling, because everybody wants to do it. And, especially couples. So how often do y'all take vacations, and like, are they planned? Are they spontaneous? Like, what's y'all moves when it comes to the vacations?
You want to take it now?
Okay, I can take it. So we try to do a big vacation every summer, meaning like we're going somewhere for like 3 to 5 days ish, that type of thing. So I planned our first vacation, which it was a really, really good trip, but it was just a lot of unfortunate stuff that happened on the trip. Like, the power went out, man. We got stranded for a little bit, but all in all, it was still.
That sounds like an unforgettable trip,
very much so. We hiked up a waterfall in the rainforest. Like, it was a really, really good trip. Lord. All in all, I'll say that. So we try to do that at least during the summer, because right now I'm in school. I don't have the flexibility to travel like that while I'm in school unless I have a break. But during the summertime, I have a little more flexibility, so we try to do that. And then as far as day trips, we do day trips more often than.
And they like more spontaneous?
Yeah, it's kind of, okay, we're going here, or be ready at this time, like that sort of. So I love a good day trip, and right now that's what works best for my schedule. I don't have a schedule where he can be like, okay, pack your bags, we're going here for X amount of days. Like, my life just doesn't work like that right now. It's not to say it won't after I'm done with school, but right now I don't have the flexibility.
And can y'all like elaborate a little bit on how planning that vacation that y'all do in the summer, how that works for y'all, for y'all finances? Because I feel like with a lot of young folks, say we about to go on vacation in March, you know what I'm saying? We'll wait until February comes, get that February check, and then we spending on the flight, that's $400. We spending on the hotel, that's $300. We spend, we got to have new clothes for the trip. You know what I'm saying? So we're taking our check money that we need to pay for rent, that we need to pay for our bills, and we're spending on that vacation. Compared to y'all, what y'all do, I'm assuming y'all save up for that trip in the summer. So like, kind of touch on how beneficial that is for y'all.
And for the first big trip, I use Skyscanner. So it's a free app. You just kind of go up there and you put where you're departing from, and you can hit everywhere, and then you can hit like the month that you want to travel, and it'll tell you the cheapest times of the month for you to travel. So that's when we got our tickets.
That's free game right there. Come on.
We did that. You also can use the Secret Flying app. So it'll just have random, like super, super random deals that you can take advantage of. So that's another one of those things you can use. Both of those apps are free.
It was the Super Flying app?
Secret Flying.
Secret Flying.
I remember one time they have crazy deals. Like, you just have to get up there and just see, basically. So you can use both of those things. And then I also use Digit to help me save. Like, that's how I save for the trip we took last summer and the trip I took this summer. So on Digit,
because they allow you to do it automated, right?
I don't have to think about it. I never check Digit to see how much money I have. So literally you can go up there and you can set a financial goal and you say, this is how much money I want to have at the end of the goal. This is how much money I will allow you to take from my account per day to save for that goal. So I think when I was saving for vacation, I was letting them take like $5 a day for my vacation. And that adds up. Like $5 a day for 6 months, like that really, really adds up. And because I don't see that money, I don't think about how much they're taking. I don't think about it till I actually open up the Digit app and I'm like, oh, I done saved $800. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really have to think about that thing. And you can change it if you want to save less, if you want to save more. You can set it where they won't take a certain amount out of your account if your account hits a certain number. Like, it's a really seamless service, and it's a good way for me to save when I'm trying to go on a trip.
Come on now. I thought James was a budget coach around here. Come on now.
I steal some stuff from her.
Yeah, she owned it.
It's a combination. It's a combination for sure.
I love it. I love it. So we on the money train now. We rocking and rolling, man. So I did some research before we got on the interview, and I saw that Gen Z and young millennials, our biggest expense is food and groceries. So what tips do y'all have for us young folks to really start saving on some of our food expenses?
First and foremost, you gotta plan out your meals.
A little meal prep.
Well, maybe not meal prepping, but
not do meal prepping.
not meal prepping, but
you say you don't like meal prep?
I don't like to eat the same. I cook every single day. Like, I don't like to eat the same thing twice. Now, meal prepping works for you, cool, but I don't like to. I also like to cook, so it's like not a big thing for me to do.
Makes sense.
But yeah, big thing is write out what you want to eat for the week. Right? Write out those meals. Let's say I want spaghetti. You may not want spaghetti, but fettuccine or
that spaghetti gonna last three days, my boy. You gotta put that spaghetti on there.
Chicken or whatever it may be. Write out your meals.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then be disciplined enough to go to the grocery store and to actually cook the meals. Luckily, you enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out. And when you do grocery shopping, it's gonna really allow you to save a ton of money, because one of the biggest things that I see, and sometimes I can get caught up with ordering food online if we get super busy, but I mean, I've kind of pushed past that. But a tough one is DoorDash.
For
Late
sure.
night, you tired, you hungry, DoorDash, or just running to go grab fast food, Chick-fil-A, these $10, $20 expenses. Wingstop got a chokehold on me. But Wingstop, like, just these places, they're gonna get $15, $20 out of you every time you go. So you
Most
compare
definitely.
that to $7 or $6 for grocery shopping. I mean, that's a 50% increase. So
yeah, most likely that Wingstop meal is only gonna last you one meal. That 6 or 7, food that you purchasing at the grocery store, y'all can break that up to 2 to 3 meals.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no,
I have a very practical tip for this as well, because
Come on now.
I grocery shop a lot. So I have a Food Line MVP account, and I do like the Shop and Earn rewards, and I have like a Vic account. So anytime they have deals, they have them every week. They send you what's on sale every single week. And with the price of food, like the price of food has gone up right now. So sometimes it costs just as much to cook as it does to eat out. But what you cook at home might last you a little bit longer than what you're going to get if you eat out. So if I'm really trying to save money, I will shape my grocery list around what's on sale. So if Food Line sends me a thing and they say, we got chicken breast on sale this week, okay, I'm making something with chicken breast. If Harris Teeter says we have salmon on, I'm so country. I should not be saying the L is salmon. It's salmon, but I say salmon because I'm country.
Hey, my mom's be getting on me about that too, so I feel you.
But if Harris see that says that's on sale. Okay, that's what we're going to eat this week. So that's a really, really good way to save money. And signing up for those things are free. You literally just put your phone number and your email, and then you get little points. I go to Food Line all the time, and I will randomly get $10 off because I just have racked up so many points in doing stuff. So if you want to save money, I definitely recommend signing up for those things and just planning your grocery list around what's on sale and make you eat something different every single week because the same stuff isn't on sale every week.
And it's crazy you mentioned that fast food nowadays with inflation may be the same price as going to the grocery store, because I'm coming out with my second book called From College to COVID to Recession. Nah, appreciate it. But, how old are y'all?
24.
25, 24. So we was 10 and 11 when the last recession was here. You know what I'm saying? 2008. So we didn't know too much about the recession. So I felt like I had to make this book credible. I went out there and interviewed economists, CEO of financial literacy companies, and, multitude of experts. And it's crazy. One of the experts said that they was like, nowadays it might be a little cheaper for you to go get, some, eating out at sometimes than you for to stock up at the grocery store and spend $450 on, 15 items. So it's you spot on with that one.
It's true. And I think I knew that the cost of food was about to go up before it went up because my master's is in agriculture. So when COVID hit, I had to write a whole paper on how that shaped the food industry. So I knew it was this was 2 years ago. And we're just now really seeing the effects of that. But I knew that was going to happen back then. So that's when I kind of started looking into, okay, how can I save money on food? Because food is going up and it's just going to keep going up at this point.
Oh,
no,
here's another thing. If you have a credit card, put those groceries and all of that, your credit card, so that you can get the cash back points. And I know some credit cards, I know Chase specifically, they'll have certain seasons where, of course, typically they're going to give you 2 to 3% back on every purchase. But some months or some quarters, they'll have it to where it's 5 to 7% back just for groceries. So that's you can do the big cards, the Food Line, extra, savings, and then throw that credit card on top of it, and you're saving a little bit more.
Now you really winning. And I'm glad you mentioned that credit cards, because I like to tell people, we was gonna spend with our debit card anyway. So why not spend with that credit card, get those cash back reward points like you were saying, and then just pay off our credit card with the debit card that we was gonna use anyway.
Same thing.
Literally. So like, what is since we talking about credit, what's y'all thoughts on how important credit is for our younger generation? Because I feel like our parents, our grandparents, they had those negative connotations toward credit and credit cards because they really didn't know how to use them. They weren't, not even that they didn't know how to use them. Nobody told them. Nobody. There was no type of education for our community regarding credit cards. So like, what's y'all thoughts on the importance of credit, especially for this younger generation?
I think credit is incredibly important. And I don't think I started taking my credit serious until I think I was maybe like a junior in college. And I actually looked up what my credit score was. And I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, this is terrible.
Do you remember what made you, like, what was the initial, like, let me check my credit score? Like, were you applying for a car? Like,
I actually was applying for a car. And
okay, so that's gonna be a lot of time where first time where folks gonna be like, okay, what's the credit score looking like?
But I mean, I ended up paying for my car without that. But that is what I looked. I was like, oh, this looks kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? So I started trying to think of ways that I could easily boost my credit score. And one of the things I did was when I moved to my apartment straight out of undergrad, I needed furniture because I lived in a student apartment, so it was furnished. So I needed a whole bedroom set, everything. So my granddad was like, I'll pay for your bedroom stuff, but you need to put it on your credit first, because once you pay it off, it'll boost your credit score. So I was like, okay, like,
facts. He knows something. Come on now.
Smart. So what I did was I went to the furniture store. I applied for their credit. I think the furniture I wanted was like $600. Why they give me a limit of like $4,000? They was trying to get me to go in there and like just go crazy.
Go crazy.
Because what they'll do is it's 90 days, same as cash. So if you don't pay it off within, you have 90 days to pay it off, and it's that same amount. But after that, the interest rate is like crazy. So what I did was I got it on credit. Then my granddad sent me the money. Then I paid it off, and my credit score literally went up like 100 points just from doing that.
Wow.
So that's when I really started taking it serious. I'm like, I can get a lot of stuff if my credit score is good. And my credit score wasn't even good when they were trying to give me that $4,000. After that happened, I got a credit card. My limit when they first gave it to me was $1,000. Spent that crazy. Spent that. But I wasn't too crazy because I paid it back when I got my refund check. Then they took it up, I think, to like $2,500. Then I would spend a little bit, pay it off, and they just kept gradually increasing my credit limit, and my credit score would just keep going up. So I think it's like, when you got a good credit score, you can get away with like a low interest rate. You don't have to put no money down. Like, it's so much you can do if you have a good credit score.
Life is just easier. Life is just easier with good credit. And I feel like life is hard. So why make it even harder when there's something that we can do, get educated on credit, and then apply that knowledge on how to raise our credit scores? So I think I'm right there with you. What you think, James?
I totally would agree. And I can personally say that I've reaped the benefits of being basically privileged to have a good credit score coming out of high school, college, whatever. When I was applying to get my car, I was able to get it with a low interest rate. So you start seeing some of these things.
Yeah.
I think for me, just building, so my parents, they were very educated on the importance of making sure that you have that good credit, and then just taking it that next step forward and checking out some of the benefits on, the cash back. I didn't know that. I wasn't educated on that. So just learning those extra things to really take advantage and to turn, that negative connotation of credit is bad, which the reason why it's probably bad is because you've gotten to those 25%, you're paying 40% back when you really shouldn't be. So it becomes a crazy issue. But just being educated, I think, is very important. And then not only education, but the opportunity. The opportunity is huge once, like, the more credit that you have, the more like access to cash, quick cash that you have. If you're
come on, OPM, other people's money, come on.
Yes. If you are able to, be able to use that properly and use it in the right manner, you become a dangerous person. So,
come on.
Credit is very, very important.
100%. It's how we literally do all the adult things that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're literally able to do all the adult things that you want. 100%. 100%. And that's why we're here on the Financial Literacy Podcast talking about this. So definitely big shout out to y'all for coming on. Let everybody know where to reach y'all. And, got any final words, go ahead and give it to them.
All right. So you can catch us on YouTube at the Message 24 Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Message 24 Pod. Twitter, TikTok, all the same name. We drop every Wednesday, so you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast, you can catch us. We also have a podcast live show coming up very soon. We are partnering with Moment to have that podcast live show, so more details will be available to you soon about that. But you can just follow us on Instagram to stay up to date on all things Message 24.
Yeah, she pretty much summed it all up.
Since she got that, man, give us a final gem, budget coach. Give us a final financial literacy. I'm real big on action items. You know what I'm saying? Something that people can take away from and get active with. So, Mr. James, budget coach, give us an actionable item that they can leave here with.
One actionable item I would say is stay consistent. Consistency is very, very key. And so, if it's something as simple as paying yourself first, if it's something as simple as trying to build a second stream of income, be consistent with whatever you're doing. Be consistent, stay consistent, and you'll see the result.
Big facts. I like to say, Small incremental habits will lead to big changes and results over time. So thank y'all again for hopping on the FYI Fly podcast. And for all our listeners, y'all know what I'm going to need y'all to do. Stay safe, stay invested, and stay FYI Fly. See y'all next week.
Thank you all for listening to FYI Fly the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.